Ornaments or jewelries make women amusingly beautiful, isn't it? Likewise, kinks and fetishes make the sex more interesting and beautiful. Sex is indeed a beautiful process. The whole balance of the ecosystem of this planet by any means depends on this process. Kink and fetish make it spicier in taste for human beings. Statistically, there are 45 to 60% people acknowledged of having kinks, but only 20 to 46.8% people are practically participating or had participated in erotic acts that have been arousing for them. The fact is that among those rest of the people, 50 to 60% cannot even confess their kinks or fetishes to their opposite partners. How sad, isn't it? Put your headphone on, sit back and relax. Project Common Sense is here with a lot of studies and information regarding kinks and fetishes today. Boy, you need to be disciplined. Get naked and stand facing towards the window. Only this kind of sentences from a woman is enough for a man of submissive nature to ejaculate right away. Or,
kneel before your master and put your head down. I want to see obedience.
a woman who is into BDSM will feel wet if they are handled by a man this way. These are two different sets of kinks. So, what is kink? Before starting the definition, one thing is to be understood. We are talking about kink, which is slightly different from the actual act of sex, or I should use the term standard act. So, what are standard acts of sex? Two partners, mostly of opposite sex, engaged in oral sex followed by penetration leading to orgasm. Kink is what just stands out of these limits and lines. It is a sexual behavior or practice that turns out to be different from the standard act of sex, which is known as making out or vanilla sex. Sexual arousal from pain or others, or own self including gagging, choking, severe whipping or caning. Sexual objectification acts like being submissive or dominant to the partners, humiliation, BDSM, cuckolding and hot wifing are the famous kinks you may find in 21st century. These acts are in many ways different from conventional practices. That's why the term kink has derived from the idea of a bend in a straight line. Another form of well-known kink is CBT, abbreviation of cock and ball torture. This form is often associated with masochism. No more elaboration about kink here, as we promise to publish dedicated videos on different kinks soon. Now head towards fetish. Before going ahead, I must share an incident I can remember. A while ago, a small news report on a reputed news source shows that a laundry boy of a hotel in a metro city got caught snipping used panties before washing them. The boy got fired for doing so. Now forget about this, coming to this reference later. So what is fetish? The habit of someone getting sexually excited of some object, body parts, not necessarily the private parts, or some dresses, preferably leathers and nylons on their partners is termed as fetish. That person may find it hard getting sexually aroused without seeing or touching that particular thing they used to be fetishized about. Now think about that laundry boy. When I talked about him, you might find that gross, or you should have felt that the boy was a pervert and might be psychologically ill. Rethink the situation from this point of view. The boy might have fetish about used panties and there might be no chance of getting that. He might have failed the control of his mind. Now you're getting it easy, right? The most common fetishes are of beautiful feet, hand, shoes and latex. A submissive man watching his favorite woman wearing a leather dress and asking him to clean her feet is somewhat a heavenly scene for him. Mostly those fetishes are common in men. Got the difference? Okay, I will repeat the main key points of both the acts to make you understand the difference between them. So, starting with the kink. It is a practice which is totally different from traditional sexual practices. On the flip side, getting aroused of an object, body part or material is termed as fetish. The act of sex in kink segment are mostly intense and rough, whereas fetish is not an intense process, but it adds a beautiful depth to sex. Persons with kinks are generally very flexible, as they love to cherish the difficult aspect of sex other than their choices. Fetishes generally are deep-rooted in a person. That's why that person may experience difficulty getting aroused without a certain thing of their choice. Now, let's discuss how to confess your kink or fetish to your partner. Partner's compatibility is what smoothens the road of a long relationship. Life is short. Everyone should at least try to experience everything they actually deserve in their life. Sex is nothing different. You should forget the shyness, awkwardness, and uneasiness regarding talking about your kinks and fetishes to your partner if you haven't done it yet. One thing that always works is watching the categorical porn together. While watching, ask him or her to imagine themselves to that scenario. If they act positively, steadily say that you are completely into it and your life will be fulfilled if he or she accepts it. A fact may boost your confidence in this case that a survey among 1,000 Americans shows that 58% of men and 10% of women are interested in experiencing cuckold lifestyle. Who knows what is waiting for you? Go ahead and take your chance. Remember, everyone is different from their perspective. We cannot force anyone to accept or do something. Likewise, judging someone should not be anyone's cup of tea. You never know the situation from where the opposite person has come through. Moreover, kinks or fetishes are not a disorder if practiced safely. A person with those aspects is very much normal. So, stop judging and respect everyone's thought process and desires. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.